Hello everyone. Once again, we have brand new updates on the whole Sykkuno situation. Now, as you guys have probably seen, we've been seeing a lot of evidence and people calling him out these last probably 2 or 3 days. We've seen a lot of VTubers as well, but there's also been getting a lot of flack too. And we may even want to make more of a deeper dive maybe for tomorrow, so definitely subscribe or put on the notifications here if you guys would want. Because we are a gossip channel, we're going to, at some point, going to cover up for gossip over here, but this has been crazy stuff. But right now, a new victim has come out. A new woman has now made a pretty big statement calling about how she had, relations with Sykkuno in person, and is now calling him out and trying to add herself to the whole, part of this evidence / list of women that were involved. But this one is a little bit more intriguing, and I'm also kind of seeing somewhat of a shift as well in the general internet sphere, where it seems like a lot of people are now pushing back against these allegations and callouts to Sykkuno himself. Now, this is, once again, don't forget I'm a gossip channel, so I'm also sometimes portraying like the overall vibe of what people are saying, but there is a little bit of truth to this. Man, because it doesn't take away the fact that Sykkuno was a cheater, and he emotionally cheated, and as well also sent messages to every woman on the planet with a predominantly female audience and viewership base. It looks really bad upon him being friends with Valkyrie and Lily Pichu and everything. It looks bad. But that also kind of always kept on stemming up to is this guy a predator, or is he just this dude who's a super big opportunistic guy cheating on everyone? Still, but they're both bad. So I think everyone agrees it's bad nonetheless, but that was always the big debate line for everyone. But this is also getting a little bit more pushback because we saw a post, I can maybe have a video linked down below for it, how one of the VTubers was kind of calling him out for him just sending a message just called crab. I'm not joking, he literally just said crab. And people were assuming it was him wanting to go play the crab game, and there's other people, even like Tectone, funny enough, who was like, hey, he sent me messages about playing games together too. So yes, I'm first and foremost, no, I don't upset anyone. I'm not saying this guy was perfect. I'm not saying he was this great guy. And I'm also not necessarily really defending him, but more so some of these vibes are me kind of calling out everyone, showing that it's just a lot of snakes in the overall streamer sphere, and why I personally have always kept my circle small. Even when it comes to VTubers, I may say hi every now and then, but I usually don't really prolong talk to people. I kind of just vibe check, and I have my own personal friends both in real life and also online that I've had for many years, so I don't really need to add more to my circle. But nonetheless, people online are kind of still in this weird, awkward vibe. So I want to go react and showcase up this entire video of a brand new woman coming out about these Sykkuno claims, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Now, as well, like I said, the first initial impressions, a lot of people are pushing back against it, saying that this woman's just trying to get her 15 minutes of fame, basically regretting what she did as well after finding out more information. So I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Like I said, this is a little bit of a devil's advocate, or sometimes we kind of break into the real drama. You don't always have to agree with it, and as well, I'm sometimes just trying to report on the news. I have to say this sometimes because sometimes people think I'm agreeing with certain stuff or whatever. I mean, I sometimes do, depends on the vibe. You can probably pick it up on the video vibes. We also do have a part 2 where Peter Park as well also made his comments on Sykkuno. I kind of want to maybe add this to this video as well. Maybe I'll have a timestamp down below for anyone who wants to go through either one of them. And of course, as well, we have our own Twitter and Twitch down below if you guys care and want to follow. If not, that's totally fine. Let's go and dive on into this video itself. So as I kind of mentioned, a little bit of a preface, not to give a prejudice, but a lot of people are kind of calling out this woman. This woman over here is saying that she, had with Sykkuno, and there's also kind of the mix of all this stuff happening, which does not excuse Sykkuno. If anything, it actually does add a little bit of evidence on how much he's been around. He really did hit up everyone, and it does also show that he did have nefarious intentions for him interacting with many of these people. He was a cheater, which I always want to remind people, yeah, this other stuff you should debate, you should hold people accountable, you shouldn't have women or people trying to lie for men's lives, and as well, I think it's okay to interact with women or as a man to try to flirt with the girl. But you have to do it respectfully and consensually and all that. But nonetheless, here's just a preface from the negative side of this all. I'm losing my mind. Why does this Sykkuno drama keep getting stupider? Agrees to share a room with him. Claims he made a move on her. She gave him oral because she's a people pleaser according to her. Eats a banana to dissociate. Admits to having with him the next morning. Claims to have with protection on the only people she's in a relationship with. Claims to not hear him ask, is it safe, before she replies with And people are saying, hey, if you're a victim, this is only you being a victim to your own stupidity. Or also even Caleb Hammer. The financial audit guy who's actually going pretty viral right this second. Already has 60,000 likes and millions of views, saying, are we still doing I'm a victim for having consensual sex after a regret thing in 2026? So people are kind of giving a pretty big backlash, and even outside perspectives are chiming on in. And don't forget, we've also had a little bit of an influx of people trying to go make comments about this is their actions, etc. I think it's kind of nice to have more proof, but it's also, some of it was very, very, I don't want to, it just was lame. Someone sending a crab message and that's it. That's It's not a much. There's another one where someone sent like a capybara picture. Like that's, I've definitely sent cat pictures to women. Like I'm gonna be on the next on the cancel list. But anyway, let's go talk about this whole reaction because it's kind of big. Like this has 12 minutes long. It's a very, very long reaction for this one. So if you guys don't mind, let's dive on into the fact that there's another victim in the Sykkuno world.
I went to Evo Las Vegas alone.
And if you guys don't know, Evo is like a fighting game tournament. A lot of streamers go to it.
I wasn't alone. I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno.
Okay.
But I didn't know that he had other intentions.
So like I said, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate from what I've seen online. So please don't hate me or think I'm like a incel misogynistic pig. But a lot of people are already saying, hey, like in most cases, if a dude's trying to get you alone in an apartment, a hotel room, one-on-one, it's probably, trying to escalate out some things. Or especially if he paid for it too. Not saying that's always the case. Some people are nice or pay pigs or simps or whatever. But I would say in most cases, if a guy is like, hey, let's go to Evo, I'm paying for the flight, I'm paying for your hotel, which we saw him do for other people. It's not always assuming the guy's going to try to get some, but I think many of the men out here would agree. Some women may disagree. Maybe they had like nice experiences with like guy friends or whatever. I don't know. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Like it's good to have guy friends like that. But I would say in most traditional, more normie cases, or if I ask like a friend who's not on Twitch or YouTube, just a normal dude. I have one of my good friends is a lawyer. One of my good friends is like a cop. Like all this stuff. If they were to say this, they'd be like, yeah, I'm probably trying to get some. You know what I mean? But nonetheless.
And I didn't ask him to share a room with me. I just simply asked him, hey, are you going to Evo Las Vegas? He said yes. And I said, oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like I know he lives in Las Vegas. And he said, oh, you're planning on coming. I actually have room if you just want to like room with me. And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, are you sure? Like, no, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel and all this. Like, I was insistent on being like, oh no, it's fine. And then
some people, like, I'm just going to get some of the male perspectives or whatever, not trying to dismiss her, like hear her out. But also at the same time, I would assume if I offered my friends a lot of the times, it's almost I had to cut there for a second. Yeah, dude, I feel like a lot of times when women are being like, oh my God, it's all fine.
He said, no, like I have extra room. I already paid for it. And
like, that's almost like just a customary thing. Like, I feel like as a man, if I'm offering to go take out something or buy dinner, or if I'm like with my family and I'm like, hey, let me go buy dinner. Any normal person would be like, oh, no. It's like when you insist, like, it's almost like a respectful thing to do. Now, if you're like with a close friend, they're like, all right, I got you next time. That's fine. Like, your dynamics, or like whatever. But I would probably usually say, like, it's kind of customary for you to always ask twice. It's like, it's nice on their end to always be like, are you sure? Double check it. Like, you don't have to. But I feel like as a man, it's kind of like not that much of a big deterrent.
I even asked him, I'm like, are you rooming with a group or with friends? And he said, no, but there's 2 beds. So like, you'll get your own bed, like yeah.
Your own bed thing, I would maybe also take that too. If you have 2 separate beds, that might also lean towards not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I can get that take, though. Like, I can't be completely against the girl. I would agree on that.
So I took his offer. Being a dumbass, I took his offer. But I did later. I even offered to pay him back. I said,
that's good.
How much should I save up for accommodations? And he said, oh, no. No, you don't have to pay me back. Like, I already have room for the hotel. You don't have to pay me back.
Good on the girl for offering to pay it back. And we did also see Sykkuno offer money for a lot of different people, too. Once again, like, we're not, like, trying to really, per se, defend Sykkuno. I don't really know him, but we're just trying to see, like, how valid it is, kind of. Or my take on it.
I shared a room with Sykkuno.
It's okay. It does ramp up from what I've seen.
Las Vegas. And we had plans to watch a movie together. We had plans to
Netflix and chill.
Watch a horror movie together.
Horror and Scream.
Dawn. That movie's ass.
That movie was absolute. I watched the Until Dawn movie with my friend. That had nothing to do with the video game. The video game, great. I would actually recommend it. I'm gonna spoil it for you all because I don't care. Don't watch this movie. Dude, the Until Dawn movie itself, dude, literally teases the like actual video game Like, so, oh, we might make another one. Oh, we're gonna like they teased it at the end. This movie was weird. It's like it was almost like more of like a Dead by Daylight, like Friday the 13th type style movie. Not Until Dawn. They literally used the Until Dawn branding to basically go and bait you and watch that movie. And it wasn't even really that scary. It was more of like more of those like gory thriller like things kind of. It was a weird premise. I don't know. It was like a sci-fi too as well. It was like I'm with this woman, dude. Just off this alone, like. That movie was really bad.
Actually, I didn't even get to finish it, but
you shouldn't finish it.
That movie's ass.
It is bad, gently.
He had
I love how in the middle of all this random drama, we're gonna have like people debating movies. Like some random marketing guy over at Sony Pictures is like, oh, come on.
It was in Vegas, yes.
She's probably like thinking like what to even say.
We were watching the movie.
Regrettably.
And he started to get very angsty or something. I don't know how to explain it, but
I'm almost like imagine like this weird like Sykkuno persona where he's like, well, you know, I've never kissed, I've never looked at a woman before, and you're just so gorgeous in my eyes. I mean, I'm pulling the Jason over there. I hope I don't get canceled.
He might try to make a move on me. And I was fully trying to say like I'm just here to watch the movie. Like I'm just here to watch the movie.
You could have picked a better movie. She regret. I can't. She regrets it.
But me being a dumbass and not being very like. What's the word?
Stern, maybe? Confident boundaries?
Strong
okay.
In, like, mentally? Not physically. I mean, like, maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but, and maybe, I don't know, benefit of the doubt, or because I still thought he was cute, or, I don't know. He tried to make a move on me, resolute, I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Wow, I don't want to share that. I don't like sharing this on. This is like so personal.
It is.
Like, I don't talk.
Some people already are preemptively judged this girl. This is my first time kind of. I'm almost like live reacting to it. I almost feel like this channel is like me just like live reacting to drama, whether it's on my Twitch or whether it's just like me just doing it. I almost kind of like doing it off Twitch because I can kind of just take it more my own pace. Yes, people are judging this woman, but sometimes these things can be traumatic more so if you know the full picture. I almost want to be curious on like a girly. Like if a girl is watching this from the Sykkuno audience or like a VTuber or whoever, I actually would be genuinely curious, like throughout this video, your thoughts. Like I would actually implore the women to make their comments. And maybe don't look at any responses because you get like someone who may not, may call you out. Maybe like type and then like leave if you just want people to have your thoughts. But I'm curious because as a guy dynamic, it's slightly different. Like it's a little scary as a man to try to make a move. Now, granted, I would not be trying to go cheat on someone and hit up every single person on the planet as well, at the end of the day, I would not be doing the same routes as he would be doing. But nonetheless, I do feel sympathetic for women who have to kind of go deal with it because like you don't know if they're friends or not, whatever. But as a man, I think a lot of men are kind of. I really feel like this is a woman and man kind of like differences of opinion because a lot of men are sometimes leaning a little bit more on this like Sykkuno end I'm seeing on social media. The women are more so on like the victims and the girlies and kind of condemning him as well. So it really still has been this really big gray ground.
Intimate life at all, but I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating. And it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen. So instead, I just gave him oral. Okay?
I hate making these comments because you never want to like come out as like a jerk, But I'm a very big like truth seeker, if you will. That's why I'm making this channel for all my subs out here. We like to break it on down, like emotionally talk about it. Did she ever try to say no? Like, I understand it's hard. Like, I'm a people pleaser too, so it's really hard for me to say no. But I'm also not a woman who's gonna put something in my mouth like that. Like, did she ever try? It kind of seems like when the girl who called out Sykkuno in the first place, he was like a little whimpering dog. And if he is a soft boy, you would think like that persona that you could be like, hey, like, sit down, Fido. You know what I mean? She doesn't seem like the most like toppy-ish type woman herself, so I can understand it. And being in that situation, Like, you know, you're physically in person alone. He's paying for your hotel. What happens if he kicks you out of the hotel? Like, your name's not on that. Like, I can understand her perspective. Like, I've seen people online hate on her. I'm still not. I haven't watched the full on video, so my opinion's gonna change throughout this video. But like, I can kind of get some of the vibes. You know, I can kind of get it. I'm not a girl, but I have a lot of female friends, so I kind of get it.
And then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana and I was just staring out the window. I was dissociating.
Dude, I hate whenever people make comments because I just don't know how far I can say or like how unfiltered I can be. Why would you eat a banana? I mean, maybe that's all that was there, but like, it just is like you didn't want to go and, you know, do something, and then you go and eat a banana right after. It's kind of like a weird like double whammy. I don't know. Maybe there's like some psychological thing on it, or maybe it's a trauma-based thing. So I don't want to judge anything bad, but like, it's just the way that some of these people are wording these things. It's just such an off thing. But this is, for the big picture of this whole drama, anyone who's following it, this does once again show a big, massive pattern of behavior and the fact that Sykkuno would go and escalate things out if available. Because we also did find out he was also with another girl over in Europe. He was trying to go do dates with that other girl. And we've seen other people of him like trying to fly people out and drive people out. There's been a lot of evidence out there. Just check out my videos. So like, it is a big pattern of behavior, and it does show he wants it. And that is also why a lot of women are like, hey, this guy, like, what would have stopped him? Like, how many numbers would it have taken? Would he still be doing it to this day? Like, if he had the chance, would he be in some random VTubers DMs right now? And that's what a lot of the girlies are saying. It's like, you almost want to look at the potential of him being a predator, or how potentially bad it could be. Because once you, like, you know, you just never know, like, what could get worse, or like what happens. You know, whatever knows. It's a lot of what ifsisms, and that's why sometimes these videos are hard, because it is just a lot of your own experiences and bases. If you're a man, if you're a woman, what you've gone through, how relationships are. Because once again, this is kind of showing like how scary it is as a man to message women. But then if you ever want to get a girlfriend and find love, you have to be respectful and message women. And it, like, this woman quite literally was in this guy's hotel room and he asked for it and he somehow got it. So it does, I don't want to say it sends horrible mixed signals, but he's kind of getting what he wants, which also some people can maybe say like, hey, yeah, that's the whole point, because he's like a predator, has this power imbalance. He's the guy who owns or is like paying for the hotel room. There is a lot they break it down. Like, it is really, this is why this whole situation's been so, I don't want to say the word entertaining in a good way, but entertaining in like the sense of like why it's so heavily discussed.
I think I was straight up just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened?
Which is probably hard to go through. I'm not a girl, so.
In the morning?
Like, I don't want to take away a woman's feelings.
I barely slept that night. Then in the morning, he didn't really want to talk about it. And I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened. And then we were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. But he ends up hugging me.
There is so much missing on this story. Like, there are so many what happened. Like, I see the high level of it all, but I think people, not to even be parasocially involved in it all, but like, after it happened, did he just instantly pass out? Did you guys talk after? Was he goofing around? Did you guys do food? Are you guys going to the convention together? Like, in the morning, was he just like, hey, how are you doing? Or like, hey, I'm looking at my phone, sending 14 other VTuber DMs in the morning. Hey, like, there's a lot of those, like, what if, like, that's what I'm kind of curious on. Like, was he mean? Was he abusive? Was he forcing you? And not to say this takes away from the story, but I just feel like there's so much missing here. Like, if you're living with the dude, like, this is like maybe what, 20 minutes, like an hour or so.
But then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. And we end up having sex. And I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop. So I just let it happen. And while this,
like, I feel bad that happened. Like, I kind of like making a few little jokes and comments. That's a horrible thing. Like, if for her, not to like excuse it, because people are kind of calling her out because it seems somewhat consensual. like that's the hard thing. Like some people are saying you can't really like ex-nay the consent after finding out he has a girlfriend and such. But like she's saying she never wanted it. So you do have to sympathize with that. You do have to realize that. And that, you know, does hurt people. Like, especially if you're a woman, you're living with the guy and like the guy is placed temporarily. There's a lot of like things that are hard. Like you would hope that she would say, hey, let's not do this. Hey, no, like, you know, pull up her, all that stuff and say like, hi, I gotta get out of here. Like, this is not the vibe. But some people are very passive. Some people, especially in that situation with the bigger streamer, this is where I think a lot of the power dynamic debate is coming into as well. Because I just want to first of all say we might critique this girl a little bit, but yeah, this is, in my opinion, it's bad for Sykkuno. Like, I think it's bad.
This was happening while we were doing it. I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with, so I'm not used to one-night stands or anything like that. But we were not using protection, and I'm legally hard of hearing, if you guys don't know already. But in the heat of the moment, he asked me if it was safe, and I didn't hear him, but I just said, and he finished inside of me, and then that.
Oh my god, this dude, this, oh my god. So like, okay, if this dude's not even wearing protection, what happens if there's little Sykkunos running around? Well, besides the fact that they probably would be hitting up even more VTubers and trying to find their mom. But like, dude, what is going on here? This dude's just raw dogging it, bro. What is this dude doing? I feel bad more so for this woman that she should be standing up for herself. This is like almost not to blame her. This is not me trying to blame her. But this is, I think, a big instance of if you're someone who does not establish and set good boundaries or also ask like preemptive questions like this, like if the idea of the illusion is what's wrong. And it is hard. Like as a man, I've had to deal with this. Like say like I think I'm trying to flirt with a girl or I think it's flirty. And then a woman eventually 3 months later, I'm like, wait, you're not even, well, this wasn't flirting. Granted, in my case, I'll be honest, there's been many times, even if some cases of VTubers, where I literally asked the VTuber, like, hey, like, I'm going to flirt with you. I quickly type it out, bro. As a streamer, like, this is why you always have to be careful around people, because you guys are seeing what's happening with Sykkuno. Now, Sykkuno really was kind of a gross person who was not respecting these people and only kind of saw them as objects, it seems like. But like, I mean, even for me, I'll quite literally ask women like, hey, like, can I flirt with you? Which some people might think is like a bottomy type thing or whatever. That totally probably is. But I always I feel like it's like at least like on the board. Like I want to consent on that. That's probably why I don't have love in my life. I'm not married because I'm probably too much of a passive, and I feel like women don't usually like that. But nonetheless, when it comes to that, I don't know. I think it's a big feel. You want to know it's all okay. You want to make sure like the person you're with in more of like a relation sense, you want to make sure they're comfortable. You want to make sure it's all fine. And it just kind of seems like this was almost a opportunistic approach by Sykkuno. But a lot of people online are blaming this girl because this was like somewhat set up. And as I even start off at the start of the video, like as a man, not to say you're allowed to have this, like just buying dinner or buying a hotel room does not give you access to a woman's body. And like, that's like textbook 101. But at the same time, there are a lot of signs and he's even asking about it. And like, of course it happened. It happened apparently twice. Like if the dude got a one night and then the next day, he probably seems like it'd be okay, you know? Like if you don't communicate it, you don't set those boundaries. But I do understand that as a woman, especially maybe a smaller woman, especially also someone living in a random apartment like this, etc., like it is harder to say no. It's harder to be around with it. This is complicated because it really is like some of the girlies would probably say this is disgusting and vomiting, and then some of the guys are like, dude, it's really like it's hard to look at the Miskiff situation, not to also defend Miskiff, but his is an intriguing one too, where Miskiff in his own relationship, when he was off dating Emeru, more information came out from like that case where Emeru went and said that he was emotionally harming her in the, you know, in the bad sense, emotionally. And then Miskiff is like, wait, that you can't like emotionally like sexually harass someone, especially if you're off dating, and she told him to come over to this house and they were kind of fooling around already at that same like few weeks. It's kind of like just like a wrong time. And also Miskiff left, not to defend the guy fully, but it just is kind of in the same tandem where emotions at the moment or emotions later on doesn't necessarily change the context. So I want to know more of the context of how this happened, like how it ramped up. Not that I want to know, because this woman already, like, she made the video, so I don't want to have more clarifications if you mean. I'd be perfectly okay knowing the rest of my life without ever even knowing this video happened. I personally would be okay with it. And if anything, I do sympathize with her, you know, because it's apparently this dude was like a sex pest. He was trying to get some. This is like the fifth woman now. So it kind of confirms he was. But I think everyone already knew he was an emotional cheater anyway. So it's kind of like the baseline.
Was it? And then we just laid there for a little bit, and then I brought it up. I asked him straight up, when was your last relationship, and do you sleep around often? Like, is this normal for you? Because I told him straight up, I do not date with people. I do not sleep with people I do not date. I do not sleep with people that I do not date. That is just a moral of mine.
I respect that moral, but it also kind of happened, so it once again gets kind of eluded. Not once again. I'm just kind of being like in my first reaction thoughts. Like, I do sympathize with this girl.
I find it very intimate with whoever. So, and I don't actually have. I've only ever slept with 3 people. Well, 4 now, but I've only been in 3 relationships.
And she does seem a little bit more on the naive. I mean, apparently she's also disabled too as well. So Sykkuno was trying to get with and like did the dirty with the disabled woman who didn't understand. That makes him look pretty bad. But a lot of people are calling her out because they're saying like you kind of seem like you consented to it. It kind of sounds like she didn't though.
So
it's a toss up.
I've never had a one-night stand.
Like some people, as you guys saw the preemptive tweets, they're like, hey man, this seems consensual. So people are like, why is this dude getting even more heat? I think the big picture with all the other information, it does also make Sykkuno look worse because it kind of shows the pattern of behavior and the fact that he was able to ramp it on up a little bit deeper.
Or anything like that. So I asked him, I'm like, is this normal for you? Like, do you sleep around a lot? And he said, no, he was being around the bush the whole time. It
seems like he was maybe lying though, because there was confirmations he did get with those other girls. Like they confirmed it. Although there's a lot of critiques on those whole stories too as well, but it does seem like it just kind of seems like a lot of these people involved in like all this stuff are just bad people.
That I was asking.
Not necessarily saying this woman, but like just some of the other stuff that's been leaking around.
These questions, by the way, I'm like, then why did you sleep with me? And he said, oh, it's just, giving me really half-ass answers, like, oh, it's just, I've known you for a while and I know you're very sweet and you look nice. And then I asked him this question and I said, when was your last relationship? And he said 3 years ago.
So he also didn't lie about the relationship status too again. So it kind of once again adds more to the anti-Sykkuno.
So in my head, it's crazy that's why I feel so blindsided and backstabbed, because I asked these questions.
I can see this. Yeah, I can see this. It's like people are critiquing her a little bit, but I'm trying to be like devil's advocate on both ends because there's a lot of hate towards this girl. I'm seeing both ends. Like, yeah, you really shouldn't have stood up for your. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. And I'm also not a woman, so I'm sure someone would be like, it's even harder. I hear that a lot. But she had to stand up with herself. But it also kind of seems like he's like the Sykkuno guy's being coy the entire time on his real intentions. And I think that is like the deeper line of it all. Like, because he's consistently shy boying it up until it ramps up crazy. It's like you're a shy boy and you can't talk to women, but then once they're literally alone with you in the bedroom, you're throwing them on the bed. Like, yes, I can see why this is like a complicated. It's all complicated all around.
It ended up being complete lies.
And he's like lying to people. He's lying to his friends, lying to everyone.
Really
lying about his girl.
Blindsided and backstabbed by all the information that was coming out. I really was, because I asked those 2 questions, like if he was in a relationship or like when his last relationship was and if he sleeps around, and he told me no and 3 years ago. And after that, I went on about my day, and then I ended up running into someone I'm very close with, and they offered me to stay in their hotel room because I didn't feel comfortable sleeping in mine. So I ended up sleeping at my friend's hotel room for the next 2 nights. And you guys can even see on
okay, so at least for her, she was uncomfortable, is a people pleaser. She's more so like saying they got ramped up. She's more so saying like this whole entire thing was like a lot worse. It was more so unconsensual. But once again, people are trying to be like, hey, like, it's weird to say it's unconsensual like years later, or finding out he has a girlfriend it's years later. But this also might just be like the trauma and everything else, almost like a Me Too movement too. So some people are kind of polarized on this, some people are kind of iffy. But I kind of feel like this girl, Like, if she did quite literally leave, like, she like was uncomfortable enough that when she had the situation, she left and she took that opportunity, that is a little bit telling on the whole case of Sykkuno.
Twitter, if you guys look at my Evo outfits, the first outfit is in a very different hotel room than the other two, and that's because I ended up moving to another hotel. The first one is in the one that I'm with Sykkuno. And I ended up sleeping in the hotel that me and Sykkuno had on the last night because he ended up
Oh, he
checking
came
out
back?
early and sleeping at his house.
Okay, she wasn't there. Okay.
So that was the only time I saw him. We ran into each other a couple of more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't really want to talk about what happened. And then I struggled with this for a while, and I had someone in my life be there for me and kind of try to help me through this. And my dumbass tried talking about it with Sykkuno later, trying to like understand what happened because it's not something I'm used to. And he pretty much beat around the bush the whole time. And then he would say things like, "Oh, I'm confused. I just wanted to know what you felt about that." And I said, "No, I want to know what you felt about this because."
Well, it's kind of curious because this is once again where this is like a personality thing, so I don't really want to blame her too hard or like victim blame, you know? But like this is like the guy's like, what did you feel? And this is like where in theory you should like look at the other girl, the initial big drama girl, like the girl that was in the voice call with him. This is where she has to say, I felt very uncomfortable with you. We were not at that level. I only usually ever sleep with men that I'm in relationships with. What you did to me made me very uncomfortable. And kind of see his response, see if he's apologized, see if he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. See if he's like, oh, I thought we were all consenting. I thought that was just fine. You did this one action the day before. We did stuff the next day. Like he kind of gave him the avenue. Like it really doesn't really matter what his feelings were, like besides like him explaining his feelings for you to get the clarification. But it matters for your feelings because this woman, like they did it. They had all this stuff happen, and maybe in Sykkuno's mind he thought it was fine. He's paying for the hotel room. He's like paying for flights, Ubers, whatever, because he seems like he's done that before. So maybe in his mind he was assuming it was all consensual. It was 2 days in a row. But once again, this woman also I think did do a right strat. She left the place, found somewhere else. Talked about it later on, I guess. It really is conflicting because people online, like I said, are kind of calling her out for being like, yeah, you got with the dude and you had a hookup and now you're regretting it because it's the time to do it. But I don't know if I fully see it like that because I don't know these people enough to kind of make that full on take because this is kind of a lot. It's a lot of like a trust thing, and I don't know or trust any of these people, so it's really up to your interpretation. Like it really can. I think a lot of this, like I said, depends on the guy, depends on the girl. I think the girlies would probably resonate with her a lot. And that's kind of the bigger issue with Sykkuno because you have Valkyrie, Lily Pichu, all your like very nice women viewers. I've had a lot of women viewers on my Twitter and even my Twitch stream and here, everywhere, like from me making these videos. They're all great. Like a lot of Sykkuno's viewers are amazing. Like I'd welcome you here. Like I want you here. But at the same time, especially my Twitch, I have a bunch of like lesbians and like a bunch of women watching my stream. Like literally, come hang out. But a lot of the men are kind of like, hey, if you're trying to raise up a girl and like you have they have to be communicative. I don't know. It really is a lot. And someone would say like they're forced into it. This really is a lot of like gray ground, guy versus girl. We need to know more details, and we weren't there. Like we really weren't there. But there is a big pattern of bad history on Sykkuno.
I told you how I felt, and yeah, he said he was sorry that he made me. He was sorry that he gave me that impression, and that he would want to reconcile. And me being the dumbass I am, I still wanted to be friends with him.
So this also kind of goes back to the main girl because she was the side piece. This is the girl, he was with for like a few months, and the girl who made the Ghoul doc. She literally calls him on a Ghoul doc. But like a few days, literally days, weeks earlier, she was like, yeah, we can still be friends. Yeah, we can still talk. Like if there's a relationship that ramps up, maybe, sure. So like, it's weird that some of these women are still kind of clinging on to it. And I think that's also a critique people are having. Like, I understand the emotional attachment, maybe, or bigger streamer or whatever, but also people online are being like, if this was really, really that bad and really, really that traumatic, it sometimes is better to like remove these people at the time. Whenever people have done really horrible things to me, I've lingered on relationships, like someone I'm dating, for longer than I should, yes, but typically on friendships, I usually do siphon myself out. Like if it hits the breaking point, my boundaries, or they did something like as serious as this, I usually would never want to talk to them ever again.
For some reason,
Difference of opinion though. Like I'm a man, so usually I don't like to deal with BS. So once again, maybe the girlies would be like they were together, like they were talking all the time. He expected better. Like, you know, I don't know. Like it really is up in the air.
So I did, and that's why we still played games. And then I ended up seeing him at TwitchCon at the Riot Party, and we actually talked in person for the first time since. And he actually brought that part up and said like he was sorry and stuff. And
it's weird because he's like apologizing for it. He's like he is apologizing for it. It doesn't take away for what he did, but this is why communication, having boundaries is important. Not blaming her for not having those, but I'm trying to use this for any person watching this. Maybe if you're younger or maybe even a younger woman, having boundaries is having self-respect. And the one thing I've learned in my life the most, if anyone takes anything from these videos, to try to be like somewhat of a positive influence, if you establish a boundary and the person doesn't respect it, like they try to push it, they ignore it, they don't respect you as a person, that is why the boundary is there. So you can feel comfortable, and then it proves them. It proves the other person to be the bad guy, the bad girl. Because if you say, I did not come here to sleep with you, and the person tries to escalate more, that's when we get to that big word, the predator word. But if it's all like in this weird up in the air, if you don't communicate it, not to blame her, because it's a hard situation for this girl to be in. This entire video, entire vibe is a hard situation to be in. But you have to communicate it. You have to message this. You have to talk about it. And if you're still hanging out with the guy and playing games with the guy and being his friend and seeing this dude and being comfortable enough to spend time with him, or as well comfortable enough to go back to the hotel room even if he's not there, like that's why I think a lot of people are calling it out. It's like, so you regretted being with this guy, but then you're still talking with him and hanging out with him and having his friendship, or maybe clout from streams, or, you know, hanging out at parties and whatever it might be in person. Anyone who has ever wronged me that hardcore, I would never interact with. I never would. If you've ruined my life, I'm blocking you and you're gone. Or if you try to ruin my life, or if I get the really bad vibes off you, I have a happy life and I don't accept everyone into it. So maybe it's different for me as a man. Like, it's probably a lot easier for me to say as a man. I get that. Like, for all the women viewers, I get that. And that's why I'm curious on the woman's perspective of this all. Because I think women also value a lot for this one, because it is it's relationship stuff. Like, is she comfortable? Is she not? Like, I don't know. But he also did say sorry, and it seems like it almost seems in how she's reacting that he accepted the apology, because they kept talking and hung out even in real life, like met up.
that he was sorry for giving me the impression. So I really thought he was, you know, honestly sorry, and I accepted it. And
Okay.
I thought I was the only one, because I literally straight up asked him if he sleeps around, and he said no.
But he was lying.
Sorry, I thought
Yes.
I was the only one. Did I think we were going to be in a relationship? No. I knew how much older he was than me, and
once again, there was the big cases where he kept on also messaging not underage, lower ages than him. Like, he's 34, I think, 35 maybe. And like, there were cases of him messaging like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. And not to always defend him, because they are consenting adults, but there is also age difference and maybe even just maturity dynamic of it all. Because if you're a 34-year-old man, that's a red flag if you're trying to get with 18-year-olds. Now, 18-year-olds may think like, oh, he's famous, he chose me. That's like the princess fantasy, and it's kind of bad. It's almost like an ego thing for yourself. But you also have to double check that. Like, it's a red flag if a grown man is messaging you, especially if you just turned 18.
I was like, why would he want to be in a relationship with someone much younger?
See?
So I didn't really think that, it was going to go anywhere. So yeah, I just said, I think it's fine. Like, we'll just
you see how she even says right here, she's like, oh, I said it's fine, but it wasn't fine. It was never fine. You never said it was not fine. Not to blame her. Like, it is hard. Like, it is hard. This is all over the place. So like I said, online, a lot of people are saying that she's basically saying it was a consenting thing. Like, even saying the woman in the video describes giving verbal consent, yes and yes, to the acts, and only expressed regrets later upon proving and learning he had a girlfriend. People are making these comments in this too as well. But then also, you guys can even see in the comments too, saying like, how you can't have any accountability. But there's no accountability. I agree that it was all consensual, but don't you think he took advantage of her? But this is also getting ratioed out. She should have never agreed to share a room with him to begin with. I would kind of agree on this, that this is kind of what I was kind of saying on this girl. It's like the boundary thing. It's the fact that she didn't have boundaries and she never cleared it. But I don't want to, like, people are kind of blaming them and calling it hardcore. You know what I mean? She is a victim because she didn't consent to him and her, which is right. Consensual stuff does not equal and her. She didn't consent to it. But obviously, people are not really agreeing with that on first impression. Just a lot of responses. And on top of this, and a lot of people are saying, like, talking about accountability and everything that they've done. You know, there's a lot of people, and people are saying like it's all about getting attention in the future viewers. Women and dodging accountability. Sykkuno's type seems to be pretty and dumb. You know, eats abandoned associate. That's funny. Like, I thought that was a little weird too, but like, just a lot of people are even saying X to doubt, people pleaser, must be a PCs. We all know it just makes you decide to suck. Totally fair. And this is what I was trying to say. Like, this is like some random moment. Clear boundaries and communication matter. I think that's what I was kind of getting off of my first impression too. Consent should be mutual and ongoing, but we also shouldn't confuse regret with lack of consent. These situations need honesty and accountability on all sides. Basically saying Sykkuno was in the wrong for forcing and cheating and being such a serial cheater with this pattern of event, but also, not that I want to blame her, but just for women watching, or even maybe men out here watching, communication and boundaries matter a lot. That's why I went in that boundary talk. You have to establish those boundaries, because if you kind of go along with it, it's not like, not to say it's not pressuring, not to say it's not a hard place to be in, but it, like, if you do it 2 days in a row, someone would imagine a third day will happen or a fourth day will happen. And you randomly leave the hotel room. Yeah, there's something off there. So obviously it's probably why Sykkuno didn't talk to her afterwards. But like, he didn't know. And you keep on hanging out afterwards too. And you're playing games and you talk about it. And you say sorry and you see him in person. Like, this is why a lot of people are like, what is going on? Like, it's almost on both sides are just not doing it properly. Not to say that she wasn't a victim per se, like in her head. Like, I do think she was part of the one of the many, if you will. But it just is weird. It's weird. Like, some people are saying she only wants to be a victim for clout. Her name she be shared and her life ruined. Be same the extent of a real hope nothing but the worst from her. And people online are going hardcore. These women are just trying to create a Me Too movement from all this, having consensual sex and regretting it afterwards too as well. So just a lot of people are saying, like, kind of like this. The only thing Sykkuno did bad was cheat on his girlfriend and lie about having one to his friends. And also, as much as he did, it was a lot of people. But one doesn't matter to us and the other deserve flaming, but it's not worth canceling over. Like, that's what a lot of people are saying now at this point. So yeah, just weird, dude. It's really kind of a weird balance between it all. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like this, I feel bad for the girl. She seems naive. And I do feel like she got taken advantage of. From what I've seen, and if her story heads up, it seems like she was taken advantage of. But I don't think it was anything more escalated once again than besides the usual, yeah, he was an emotional cheater and just a playboy who was hitting up way too many people. You know what I mean? Like, it is bad. Like, I don't want to say Sykkuno is not bad too. And a lot of people are kind of making all these comments. Even here's like even more of Caleb Hammer. Feeling an emotion doesn't mean the person you had consensual sex with was in the wrong. Now, he technically was wrong because he was cheating, but that was the only reason. Deal with your emotions, talk to someone, but therapy talk is not an excuse to destroy a person's life. You know, people kind of somewhat to protecting Sykkuno. Still thinking he's bad, but like, it was all somewhat consensual too. But also, some people are also saying, hey, you may be the biggest in the world. Are you implying a person using power dynamics instead to entice women isn't predatory? I don't honestly, I would say yes. The predatory words, it's hard. That's always the word that's been debated. I would still say that there is these weird dynamics and status and all this stuff. It is bad. Predatory, he's a cheater. Like, it's bad. Like, no one likes cheaters. I would hope everyone agree. No one likes cheaters. But obviously, people are kind of calling this stuff on out. Like, it's just the predator label is really what a lot of people are saying. The predator vibe is the bad part. It was cheating, yes. Was he trying to raise up a little hard? Yes. But this is why, once again, it's just I don't know. It's really convoluted. So anyway, we also have Peter to wind down this video. Just why not? It's already 36 minutes long anyway. But here's Peter's actually, like the OTV circle Peter. And this is his thoughts on the whole Sykkuno thing, which I thought a lot of people thought it was pretty well rounded. So let's let him play it on out.
The document that dropped, like, there are so many people coming forward with their own separate experiences. And what is upsetting me is people are like finding one person's experience and saying, oh, because this person doesn't have like a statement that's like bulletproof, I'm going to go ahead and disregard every person who's come forward. You know what I mean? And I think that's dumb. And I think that's fucking dumb. So I think that when you are a person with a lot of power, influence, money, fame, if you're older, there is a power dynamic in play that you need to be cognizant of. I think
people keep on disagreeing on this one. This is the one take I would agree on. I do truly think that there is a power dynamic for it. Is it enough to like force someone to do everything we just saw? Maybe, maybe not. I'm a man, so it's slightly different for me. It's hard to say.
I think that while the other parties, from what I have observed, are like technically adults, and they do have agency, I'm not going to completely strip them of agency and responsibility.
It's basically like they are adults, they can make their calls.
I personally think that the onus is on the person that wields that power. They need to
basically calling out Sykkuno.
Respect that and understand that and navigate around that. And I don't think he did that, you know?
Yes, I would agree.
And
like, not to say Sykkuno is this crazy, massive predator who belongs in jail, but he was the bigger streamer who had this power dynamic with it all.
I don't think he did that. And it was deeply irresponsible. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with flirting with people.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with hitting people up, but just like the sheer volume of people
dude, there were so many, even more, even for small things, it was a lot. It really was a lot.
Situation that it's not.
Yes, this I agree with this. Yes, that's kind of what I've been saying.
A pattern, you know, and it's like I don't know. People, the big argument here is what is a predator, right?
Yes, I keep on saying this in every video.
And
this is his own friend saying this.
People these days associate being a predator with like pedophilia.
Yes,
which
is why it's a hard word to use for Sykkuno.
I just think that the behavior that he exhibited was exploitive.
I think I was using the word predatory before. I think exploitative or like just wrong, maybe abusive is maybe a better word for it. So if I ever did, for all these videos, if you guys have been following the train, I do want to agree with that one. I think at one point I did say predatory. Is he a predator? No, but it seemed like it was predatory, like in the actual normal like textbook definition. But I do think maybe like opportunistic or like conniving. Maybe conniving would be a great word for it all. Like he was a conniver.
From what I've seen, we've seen documented evidence from like a couple people. But like I will say, like, you know, some of the like accounts that I saw come forward, like not to like discredit or discount their experiences, like some of them are like, in my opinion, a little flimsy, you know?
Yeah, it's like the crab.
Some of them it's just like, okay, like we are, I don't know, there's just some objectionable behavior that I'm seeing like in general, but like overall I think like my opinion is that he did some really objectionable shit.
Bad stuff. I agree.
It's not okay.
I agree.
And like this isn't even taking into account the cheating. Cheating is already fucked up
yes.
as it is. Like you guys know that I fucking like hate that shit.
I don't like cheaters.
Friendships and like just like fucked up.
This happened a lot in the OTV circle too. You know, people would cheat on people and get married and stuff, and like cheating in marriages and all that. Or like I believe Foosley
over the years. And like the thing is, I don't think cheating in and of itself is
like Foosley and Noah J. Hopefully I'm doing those right people. If I did those wrong people, like let me know in the comments.
People make mistakes, really big mistakes. And
those stupid effing mistakes, man. Oh, Gillette. Sorry.
So much of what is factored in is like what you do after the fact. Accountability.
Yes.
They looked up to him as like a safe space, you know? And
I keep on saying all this stuff. I really think this is, yeah.
You know, I looked up to him in a lot of ways too. Like
the cute little sprouts, bro.
It's just like, this is something that I didn't think he was capable of, to be honest. And like, it hurts me to see. And yeah, like to his victims as well. Like I said, not every single person who has ever interacted with Sykkuno is automatically a victim, you know? But
yeah,
like, I also think that it's important to listen to the people that feel that they were exploited. Like the one we just saw. She was more up there. Like this was a big one. I'm also fucking annoyed. I'm gonna be honest, because this guy for years would just say shit to me like,
we talked about this yesterday.
I hope I find something like what you and Anita have. You're so lucky. For years he said this shit, okay? And this guy allegedly has been like with his partner for even longer than Anita and I have been together. He just like, he never let on ever to me that like he was ever in a relationship. And I don't know, like maybe I'm not owed that information, but like it felt like with the way he portrayed himself, it was a little deceiving to me. And like, this isn't even just, this is like IRL too, you know? Like, yeah, every fucking content creator will like put up an appearance and like fucking say whatever. We're performers. So that's just a lot, dude. Like, I'm genuinely curious your thoughts down below.
It's a lot. Like, a lot of these things are like the error in the details for these videos and the comments, and it's why it's such a complicated situation, because there is, people take things differently. Some people say like, hey, the Sykkuno guy, he's a player, hitting up everyone. Some women might be saying like, yeah, I've been there, done that, I had to go and do things I didn't want to do with the man who stuck me in a room, abusive relationships, whatever it might be. And it always really is, I think, in the error of the wording, error of the comments. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. It's a little bit more of a sensitive subject. Subscribe if you guys would like. If not, no worries. We have our own Twitter and Twitch down below. And this was, like I said, a pretty big deal. There's a lot of stuff going on.